Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. So there is good news. I am going to show something that's awesome news. Now, despite this being awesome news, Mike Pence snubs this. He dislikes this. Mike Pence is a fucking maniac. This is amazing news. At the Olympics, North Korea team and South Korea team are united. They're united. Now, this is an amazing thing. The United States and South Korea has been holding military exercises pretending as if they were going to invade the North. Now the catch is they're not really pretending. The military exercises are not done perfunctory. They're done with this idea of we're going to invade North Korea if the situation arises. Now, North Korea has hated this. And part of the reason that North Korea has developed a nuclear bomb is because they want a certain degree of protection. They understand that the United States has destroyed the Middle East. Part of the reason that they were able to destroy the Middle East because no one in the Middle East had a nuclear bomb. They understand that if they had a nuclear bomb, that is their protection. That they can use that nuclear bomb to attack South Korea or Japan. The fact that they're working together on this, meaning they're together, is a good sign. Is it amazingly good sign? We do not want a war in that part of the world. Any attack on North Korea is for the most part the destruction of South Korea and potentially even Japan, potentially with nuclear weapons. They have the capacity to do so. And if we attack them, they will do so. We do not want a war, another Korean War. That's all I'm saying. We killed a fifth of their population in that last war. We are on their border right now as we speak with the United States. Is on their border. If there's any chance of reconciliation, we should take it. And we should applaud it. Not snub it. Not say things against it or badmouth it. We should applaud it. Let's take a look at this.
This is Democracy Now! I'm Amy Goodman. In Pyeongchang, South Korea, the 2018 Winter Olympics have opened with North and South Korean athletes marching together at the opening ceremonies. The Games are seen as a pivotal moment for relations between the two countries, who've been officially at war since 1950. In an effort to de-escalate tensions on the Korean Peninsula, North Korea has sent a 500-person delegation of athletes, musicians, performers to the Olympics. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's influential sister attended today's opening ceremony, shook hands with the South Korean leader, Moon Jae-in. The pair are scheduled to have lunch together. But even as the peninsula tries to de-escalate the threat of nuclear war, U.S. Vice President Mike Pence warned the U.S. is slated to impose another draconian round of sanctions against North Korea. Pence is leading the U.S. delegation during today's opening ceremony and will reportedly attend the Games with the father of Otto Warmbier, the American college student who died after being imprisoned in North Korea. This is Pence speaking Thursday.
Allow me to just assure you and the people of South Korea that the United States of America will continue to stand shoulder to shoulder in our effort to bring maximum pressure to bear on North Korea until that time comes when they finally and permanently and irreversibly abandon their nuclear and ballistic missile ambitions.
Explain something to me. Honestly, explain something to me. Why doesn't the rest of the news look at this and say, who does this to the United States? Meaning, we go into a country, we destroy a country. Who imposes sanctions on the United States for the bad things that we do? For the people that we murder, that American citizen that got killed, that we killed under the Obama administration, the thousands of civilians that die in the bombings that we do. Who imposes sanctions on us? Newsflash, Pence. If they're having any level of reconciliation, you're not helping that process. In fact, if you really care about the process of these guys coming together, you should applaud that they're coming together in the Olympics. That is not something you should snub. That is not something you should find a way to down. You should applaud it. You should applaud it. It is massively hypocritical for anybody in the United States to say that XYZ is doing something that we don't particularly like, and so we're going to impose sanctions and everything else. They're not going to get rid of the nuclear weapons. Is it an insane thing to say? I mean, ultimately, they have those nuclear weapons because of you, because of people like you, because of neocons who believe that attacking that country was going to be some better alternative. They got those nuclear weapons to defend themselves against the likes of you. Against the likes of you. You're not helping the process. Now, here's the weird part. Here's the weird part. Maybe I'm wrong on this. Are they helping the process? Meaning, is it one of those things that the pressure that Donald Trump put on for the potential war nudges them to say, okay, this guy's a fucking maniac. Maybe we need to do things to reconcile. Maybe. Maybe. But come on, that runs in a spectrum, right? At a certain point, you're not helping the process like anything else. I'm drinking a lot of water. Oh, this water helps. If I continue to drink that water, I could die of overly drinking it. And that's water. Water is usually innocuous. Neocons are not innocuous. Meaning, yeah, you may have put pressure, meaning Donald Trump chest thumping may have put a bit of pressure on that government to reconcile. But you understand at a certain point, that's not helpful at all. At a certain point, you lead this country into something that looks like a war. And that is going to be nasty. That is going to be nasty. Take your wins and leave. Pull your chips and go. If you're asking for something that they're never going to give, then you're asking for a war. It's like asking Obama to get rid of Obamacare. That is such an unreasonable expectation that such is not going to happen. North Korea knows that the protection of North Korea has everything to do with that nuclear bomb. It has nothing to do with your words. The fact that these guys are able to have some level of reconciliation, in one part, has to do with that nuclear bomb. There's no way to talk to North Korea if North Korea believes that at any moment they could be invaded. What allows them the capacity to have this conversation in the first place is that they can protect themselves. They understand the political consequences of a first strike, meaning the first strike is likely off the table. That is not something they're going to do. They're not maniacs. The fact that they got the nuclear bomb itself shows a certain degree of sanity in dealing with the United States. It is time for you to pull up your sticks. It is time for you to start helping them in this process of reconciliation, not hurting them. Stay out. Leave them to their devices. If you want to keep the U.S. troops on the border, fine. Stop pretending as if you're going to invade their country. Stop with the hyperbolic rhetoric. Stop with the snubbing at the Olympics. Stop being an asshole. Let those two countries do what those countries need to do without your efforts. Without your efforts. If those countries are coming closer together, good. Leave them to their devices. Let history take its course, particularly if that history is some level of reconciliation between those two countries. That is a good thing. What you're doing here is not. And just to read a little bit of this, at least the first paragraph. In Pyeongchang, South Korea, the 2018 Winter Olympics have opened with North and South Korean athletes marching together in the open ceremonies. The games are seen as a pivotal moment for relations between the two countries who have been... Oh, they've already said this one. Let's see. Okay, she said this one exactly. Okay, she's already read that one. Alright, yeah, I'll leave it at that then. I'm going to put this link at the bottom so you guys can read it for yourselves. But by any measure, this is good news. This is good news. That's why I'm reading it as good news. So, if Pence stays out of it, if the United States stays out of it, this will probably remain good news. Let's just hope that some level of reunification, even at the very least, this is de-escalating and stopping this idea that these two countries are at war with one another. Even if that changes, that will be a positive step. This, walking together, yes, it's symbolic, but it's symbolic for a reason. It shows that there's a tenor, a tilt, towards some level of reunification or de-escalation. And that is a good thing. So, I will leave it at that. Alright guys, if you enjoy the content, feel free to share, like, subscribe, and of course, you can always support through Patreon. Thanks guys.